The fastest growing software companies in the world do not rely on accidental growth. They engineer closed systems where every user action naturally pulls in the next user, guided by a documented vision. When executed correctly, this strategy results in a massive enterprise valuation. We see this in the public market success of companies like Slack and Figma, which utilized these specific mechanics to dominate their respective industries. To replicate this, you need to map your own strategy. Grab a blank document and divide it into 3 columns. Label them Vision, Growth Engine, and Alignment. Completing this one-page blueprint takes your abstract product ideas and turns them into a concrete engine. By the end of this exercise, you will have a plan that your entire team can build against. Step 1 is declaring your operating environment. This sets the strategic constraints for every decision you make in the blueprint. In a startup environment, the product is founder-led. You must optimize for speed and innovation, focusing entirely on discovering the initial product-market fit. This changes in an enterprise setting. Here, the process is PM-led. You are optimizing for scale, risk mitigation, and navigating complex corporate integrations. Applying startup chaos to an enterprise breaks your ability to scale. On the other hand, forcing enterprise process onto an early startup stops the innovation you need to survive. Move to the first column, the product vision. This statement spans a 3 to 10-year timeframe. Your goal is to draft a description of how your customer's life will improve, rather than listing near-term features. We use a specific formula to keep this grounded. It starts by identifying the target customer, the problem they face, the product category, and the core value you provide. Figma used this to define their future. Their vision targeted design teams who struggled with version control, offering a browser-based category that enabled real-time, multiplayer editing. The second half of the formula forces you to name your primary competitors and list your unique differentiators. You must be able to articulate why your product is the superior choice for your specific customer. Be careful not to spend time validating your technical solution right now. At this stage, you only need to validate that there is actual market demand for the vision you have described. A correctly formatted vision acts as a filter. It ensures your team is always aligned on who they are building for and why the work matters. Now we move to column 2, the growth engine. Many companies burn cash on traditional marketing funnels. To achieve exponential growth, you need to replace those funnels with self-reinforcing loops. This is a closed system. It is designed so that the output of one user's action directly leads to the acquisition of the next user. The first step is the entry. Calendly removed all barriers here by allowing anyone to use their scheduling tool for free without an account. Step 2 is time to value. This is the threshold where a user experiences the product's worth for themselves. Slack found that once a team sends 2,000 messages, the value is so established that their churn rate drops to 0. The final step is the viral trigger. This is a point where using the product naturally exposes it to a non-user. Consider Figma again. When a designer shares a link to a canvas, the developer receiving that link has to sign up just to leave a comment. The work itself triggers the loop. Identify the specific action in your product that requires sharing or collaboration. Map that trigger into the second column of your blueprint. Executing this loop reduces your customer acquisition costs. When the product acquires its own users, you unlock compound scaling. Even a perfect growth loop will fail if your team is acting as a reactive feature factory. Column 3 is about cross-functional alignment. The first step is co-creation. Bring your drafted vision to your engineering and design leads before you finalize it. Shared ownership of the plan ensures everyone is working toward the same outcome. Step 2 is storyboarding. Use visual narratives or prototypes to show the future state of the product. This secures executive buy-in much more effectively than a standard slide deck. The final step is daily mapping. In every planning meeting, you must explicitly tie your daily sprint tasks back to the growth loop nodes we just identified. This checklist moves your team away from simply completing tasks. It transforms them into an empowered product team capable of solving problems autonomously. Look at your finished document. You now have a vision, a measurable growth loop, and an alignment plan on a single page. Take this blueprint to your next team meeting. Draw the loop on the whiteboard and ask your team how you can build toward that viral trigger together. Anyone can manage a project timeline. The high-leverage skill is strategically leading a team toward a specific product outcome. Mastering this blueprint allows you to focus on the systems that actually drive adoption. It is the difference between building a product that simply exists and one that captures an entire market.